Hello everyone, this is Helios Raven. I tell you how I do it, even if you don't care. And this is the Emperor's Will. Okay, now, like I said in my last video, my next blog was going to be about this little bad boy. Now, I was a little bit misinformative on my last blog. The Emperor's Will is not a shadow sword, it is a hex blade. A very ancient piece of technology that is only seen within the ranks of the armies of Mars, and was first created, I believe, by Blue Table Painting. They were the first ones to actually come up with the idea. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure they are. Now, I'm going to show you in this video how I set up my hex blade so it works completely, and so you can make your own and improve upon my design. Now, the first one I'm going to show you is the Bane sword. Now, that was really simple. You just take this piece out, the tip of the gun, and bam, it's a Bane sword. Now, what I did was I took a piece of green stuff, or gray stuff here, put a nail through it, then I put a magnet on the end with some green stuff around it and wedged it into the barrel here so it catches when it needs to. So that's a Bane sword right there. Now the next one is a Storm sword. Okay, we take this piece out. Now the way this is hooked in is there's a magnet right there and there's a magnet right there that it catches onto. Personally, if I did this again and I had money to actually buy materials, I'd probably put a piece of metal around here, and then put a square magnet in the back, so that's what it sits on, but we live and we learn. So we move on, a Storm sword. Take this piece, this is actually held together by friction, so that just comes right off, and place it back in like so. We take the cannon piece, which is again, green stuff and a nail. There's a magnet in the very back of this turret that this nail catches onto. And there you go. A Bane sword. Storm sword, sorry. Okay, there you go. And now, the next one is a Bane hammer, okay? Now this piece is where it gets a little complicated. Okay? Now, take this piece out. Okay, the magnet down here is being held by a piece of metal here. This is a old switch plate. If I had time, I would have bought some sheet metal and put some plastic brackets here and have it sit nice and flush, but like I said, I just took a piece of metal, cut a slit in the side here, and stuck it in and glued it. And, okay, so it's being held together by that magnet. Then take this plate, which has another magnet. I would probably buy a smaller magnet so it looks a little bit less conspicuous than this one. Turns around, and this magnet attaches to this metal plate here, which is actually glued way back here behind the little compartment here. And so this slides down all the way to the back. This slides to the front and sits there. Now with the smoke launchers, just one thing to keep in mind, you have to position the smoke launchers just right, because if not, this piece doesn't sit right, and then you're just having, it just looks annoying and all that. And then this piece slides in right there. Okay? Now a doom hammer is simple. You keep it like this. You take this piece right here, and this stuff's right in there. I'm not going to stuff it in just so I don't ruin the strength of the magnet, but you pull this out and then pop this in, and bam, you got yourself a doom hammer. And last but not least, the Stormlord. Okay, now this piece like I said, magnetized the sponsons here. It's just a piece of metal going across the side, then a piece of metal on top, where magnet there and two magnets there. Keep it in touch. Whoopsie. Okay, yeah, this piece I didn't magnetize. It just sits there and just comes right off to reveal the compartment. And magnet there. Then I took these pieces and I put a piece of metal there. So this can move back here. And I put a piece of metal there. So these can sit there. A trick that I did was I put the pieces of the magnets, the pieces of metal on, put the magnets on, then put some glue on them, so when I set them in the hole, it ends up nice and flush. Okay? Place this here. Take this off and place this here. Okay. Put this here. Take this off for right now. Flip this piece over so it stays in like that. Take this piece out. Put this in. There's actually no magnet. Friction just seems to hold this in. So I didn't put any magnet in there. Like if you put the metal square one in the back, you might want to consider putting a piece of metal there just to give it some extra support. But yeah, it just sits in there and fits nice and snug. Now the last part is the gun turrets on the side. I couldn't figure out how Blue Table did it. So what I did was I take a magnet and I placed it right there. See, I'd probably change this up and put some green stuff on there just so it has a little bit more strength, but that seems to hold pretty well. So put magnets there, and then I took two paper clips and put them right there on the sides. And one thing to be aware of, you don't want it touching the back piece here, and you don't want it going up to the front here, because if you do, this little piece here causes to get stuck, and then it doesn't sit right, and you just got in a whole heap of trouble that you don't want to have. So you take this piece and just sit it right there so it sits nice and flush. Take this piece so it sits nice and flush there, and a Stormlord. Okay? And so now, instead of spending $100, well, my friend's spending $100 and giving me one tank, they spent $100 and gave me 6 super heavy tanks. And then that's really it. I'd like to give a shout out to Fortress Monastery for being one of the members to purchase this item for me. Like to thank Blue Table Painting for giving me the idea and showing the videos so I can figure out how to construct my own Hexblade. If you have any questions about the video at all, just leave a comment. I'll get back to you. Any requests, let me know. Until next time, this is Helios Raven, signing off.